terrible. It's terrible. When you tear Kriya and moan, Don Sackcloth, his title, racist, extremist, these settlers hurling rocks, setting mosques on fire, attacking those who think differently. Hello, this is Rabbi Lemming. Don't be afraid. I can see that you see that there is a pencil in my eye, and there is a story there. I will tell it. It didn't just happen. It's been like this for, I believe, a month now. But we'll get to that in a moment. I want to speak to you of a different Zionism. I want to reach out to you as the Rosh HaYeshiva of Har Shalom, an Orthodox rabbi, completely committed to the Torah, to spread the real ideas of Torah, to show you that Dati does not mean extremist, to show that loving Eretz Israel does not mean I must have every inch of it, to show that I can live with the other, to show that I will not become as the other who may adopt ways that are contrary to brotherly love. And even if it means I get a pencil in my eye, or I'm killed, or I am raped, in the pursuit of Tikkun HaOlam, I will not sacrifice my commitment to humanism, my commitment to progressivism, to pluralism, to humanitarianism. Let me speak to you of a different Dati theology, the authentic Dati, the real authentic Dati theology, the one that rejects extremism, fanaticism, racism, violence, exclusionism, insularity. The one that says, just because it says in the Torah, a man shall not lie with a man, therefore I shall deny the humanity of one who engages in man love. It may be that there is a prohibition, or there was a prohibition in the Torah of being with another man. But the essence of Kavod HaBriot means that even if I must abrogate this in the pursuit of Tikkun HaOlam, the very essence of being a religious Jew means, how dare I tell this man how to express himself? How dare I oppress him? How dare I pursue a theocracy which is un-Jewish, which is against the Torah? That is not how we brought Torah law. We teach. And if they don't like it, they reject it. Bechira. We do not put a theocracy in place, democracy. This is the essence. That was the essence, the lesson of Sanhedrin. After the majority, you go. And not just the majority of Torah thinkers, no. The common man also. The common man, I know Korach tried to bring some ideas, and that's a very complicated subject. I will not go into it now. But the essence really of Judaism is democracy. The idea that every man is worth something. That every man has something to bring to the table. One vote. It is the rejection of fanaticism. Those who oppress. Yes, it's true, the Pirushim say ger, it means a convert. But the truth is, it doesn't mean that. The rabbis, thou shalt not oppress the stranger, because you are a stranger. It does mean it literally, in a way. The real lesson of Kavod HaBriot is thou shalt not oppress the stranger. And no modern commentary can take that away. I want to speak to you about so much has transpired since we last spoke. It has been so long, such a while ago, since we spoke, and so much has happened. We have regressed as a people. We had the Yaakov title, an aggressive, racist, dangerous man who rose up to harm the Ishmaelites. Ishmaelim are cousins who want to love us, who want to live at peace, who also have extremists in their midst that present themselves as the majority. No, it's not true. True, it is our land, in a way, but it is also their land in a way. And how dare we tell them? My Jewish essence tells me I want them to be. But I cannot be from the grave, so I need to live. But I cannot reciprocate the mirror image of my enemy and deny him his humanity. However, this does not give me the right to throw Arabs out who are also in the land, who also have a claim, who also have, from their biblical narrative, a claim to the land. Yes, even if it goes against our own, my Kavod HaBriot does not allow me. It demands pshara, compromise, the essence of halakha. Who am I to tell someone there cannot be a church in Israel? Don't look at the old commentaries. We live in a modern age with reality. We have the notion, not upsetting Goyim, Gentiles, Goyim. I don't mean that in a pejorative. We are called. I don't mean that to insult. A Goy Kadosh. We are a Goy Kadosh. Other nations can also be a Goy Kadosh. I'm not saying Goy the way some racist Jew may use it for insularity. No, I'm referring to the Hebrew term nations. But for the sake of our listener, who may think that he's not comfortable with the term, I will use Gentile nations, our brothers, our Christian brothers and sisters, and our Hindu brothers and sisters. Who am I to tell them in a modern age? This is not Judaism. How can I thrust theocracy on them? How can I put in place things that are difficult to understand? From a different time, we were coming out of the Midbar, and we were more barbaric and primitive. There may have been a need for certain aggressive things which are very hard to understand. They are not the way today. It is not the way. It is a chilul Hashem. Let me speak to you. This title rose up. Meshugana smiling. Crazy man. A crazy man coming, I believe, from within the settler movement. And even if many don't agree, they created it. We should tear Kriya because we created him. Even those who are against vociferously, we are not fighting enough against it. We are not pursuing the pursuit of Oslo. We are letting it stagnate because we are bringing fanatics to want to find an excuse to get out of it. Now we have a commitment, and this is the only way. Yitzhak Rabin, Zechron Lavracha, saw this. We don't have to agree with everything. We must accept it. First of all, it is the law of the land. The Medina is the intrinsic quality of Kedusha. And if they have decided that compromise is necessary and military men agree, then we must stop it. We must stop it. And then Chanukah, what do we hear? We hear about a mosque in a moderate Arab village. A moderate Arab village of those who live close and want to pursue justice. And they're minding their own business, shepherds and fanatics. Who knows if the Kvar Tapuach or some other Jewish community in the areas that really are occupied by Jews. Because really we shouldn't be there. We should go back to 67. I know, I too. Every inch of the land is important, but not at the compromise of our integrity, not at the compromise of sullying our Jewish soul by occupying. Of course, we don't mean to occupy in the way of but it harms our soul to be on top of them. And we cannot do that. They need autonomy. They need guns. Not to hurt people. They need guns to just see. We are an army also. If they have guns, they will hurt less of us. Because they will say, see, we trust you to police your own areas. It hurts, yes. And I will get to that soon. But let me tell you of a different Zionism. Let me tell you of a Zionism which does not set fire to a mosque in the moderate town of Yassou. After that terrible travesty that desecrated the name of the Almighty on the world stage, where fanatics came in and started a grease fire in the kitchen that burnt a piece of halal meat in the oven. But it was meant to spread this giant inferno. The whole Shachim. I blame Kvar Tapuach. Why? I don't know that they did it. But did they come out afterwards and condemn this? Did they come with me? This hurts. Did they come with me? Did they come with me to the village and say, our hands have not shed this blood of this grease fire? There were some rabbis afterwards. Rabbi Avi Weiss, Rabbi Yonah Metzger, I appreciate their efforts and all. But I did not go with them. I have been involved in this interfaith, both with Christians and with Muslims, long before they. I did not want it to be a spectacle. I did not go with a contingency of soldiers or police. No, I did what I always do, and which has cost me in the past. I will not lie. You know about the first encounter. Terrible violation, if you will. Don't like to talk about it. But I've gone back repeatedly. Despite the graffiti that says Itbach al Yehud, I know it is not the community that says it. And so this time I visited Yasuf after the cameras went. Alone! Alone! In the past I've sometimes brought Talmidim, we come with a talit in the shofar. We sing songs, Lo Yisagoyel Goy Cherev. And we bring mosques, and we bring Korans. I've done that in the past. Long before Rabbi Yonamatsker has done it. Rabbi Weiss, I appreciate their efforts. But I did not want the spectacle. I went alone. I did not go with the arm. I went with an olive branch, literally, in my mouth. And roses. And I brought some baklava. And I was viciously assaulted. It's true. A pencil was jabbed in my eye. It was only a miracle that saved me. There had been an army contingency nearby that came in. But I believe in my head that really that wasn't the case. I believe there were Arabs within who protected me. I don't know this for sure, but I believe this. And I'm trying to reach out to the imam of the mosque. I did not get very far in the town, and I was assaulted by a large group. I was almost killed. And a pencil jabbed in my eye. And as you can see, it's been wrapped this way. They tell me it cannot be removed. Or maybe in a few weeks it can be removed. I don't know the full nuances of what was going on. But I know that they told me it needs to stay there for a while. It's hard to see. But I will do it again. I have had interfaith dialogue. I have imams that come to my house on Shabbat. And priests. And we sit there without compromising the essence of our own faiths. We appreciate that of the other. I want to tell you that there is a great degree of fanaticism that is rising. Rabbis of Hesder Yeshivot telling students, mutiny, don't listen. Don't listen if they tell you to remove Jews. No! You must listen. It is the halakha. You cannot throw out an Arab, but if you're told to remove a Jew, yes, we should suffer. Without violence. I don't approve of violence and beating people over the heads. No, I didn't want to see that. But rabbis cannot tell their soldiers. It is to be moral b'malchus. You know what that means in Judaism? When the government says do something and a soldier, a mechutzev, decides with his arrogance, he's going to usurp the words of Ehud Barak. He's going to deny them. He's going to ignore his commander and say, no, I will not. I need to be punished. It is terrible. It is a scourge of fanaticism. Kvartapoch did this to my eye. Why? Because they are not reaching out to Yasuf. They are being exclusionary. They think we cannot live with them. We must live with them. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be screaming. I'm still filled with love. And you'll see. I love. But I'm a little angry. Upset. Upset that's my fellow Jew. I was planning to do a sabbatical this year. I've had some health issues. I was assaulted last year, also in the pursuit of peace. I was going to do a sabbatical, a universal sabbatical, away from Israel for a while. I was going to ask Shlomo Riskin to perhaps take over as the yeshiva head, at least oversee it, while I'm gone. I was going to go to India to help the lepers, the Hindu lepers of India, whose limbs are rotting off. I want to sponge bathe them for a year. I want to spend time in the dirty quarters of India and help take unbathed, unclean Hindus who are never leprosy, real leprosy, noses falling off, fingers and hands. I want to sponge bathe them. I want to get back to a university. I've been here in Israel so long. You don't always want to get caught in the Jewish issues. I help many people. I work with interfaith. I'm a therapist, as you know. I'm a psychiatrist. I work in the Dati community with those who are struggling with issues of gender identity and its juxtaposition with the halakha. Yes, I am Rabbi Lemming. I'm committed. and committed to these things, helping those who are confused with their sexuality and how to reconcile it with the halachic process, or those who are not religious, of course, well, Gentiles as well, to help those to struggle, cover a briot. But I do not know if I can do this trip now, because there is too much to. We are seeing the peace process derailed. We are seeing those who are banging on the war drums, who are looking for excuses to break ties with moderate Turkey, in Jordan, and Egypt, who, yes, they're saying things that are a little troubling, some of them, but we cannot go away. We cannot go back. Not through strength shall we bring the message of peace to the world. Shalom, shalom, v'yein shalom. Whatever that means, but shalom. But we are not going to be angry. I have a ukulele. I don't know if you know, but I play the ukulele. In that sense, I very much believe in the tradition of the Hasidic movement that music and dancing and laughing will bring happiness to the world. And not only Jewish songs. There are songs we can learn from the civil rights movement and from secular Jews, and some not. I myself was religious and I was involved in civil rights. Orthodox rabbis for for Jewish justice and social justice. I also, when Sovereign Shatila, after that abomination that stains the soul of Israel to this day, I and a few other Orthodox rabbis created Orthodox rabbis in shame against what happened in Sabra Shatila. Not that we did it, we didn't do it, but we allowed, through our callousness, the phalangists, the Christian phalangists, to reciprocate and do the Palestinians what was done to them. And we taught Kriya. We got to get this started it. And when Emil Grunzweig, Zechrenu Livracha, was murdered by Jewish extremism, we realized this was not the way. The dream of greater Israel was not the way. Not at the expense. We need large souls. We need large hearts. We need to sacrifice our eyes. The real meaning of Shimshon. My eye, I will give up my hard eye, my bad eye. That's to take down the idols. Whatever. I'm not going to get into that now. Heschel, Rav Heschel, Zichronah Livracha, a gadol in Torah, met Martin Luther King, and he marched, and he was universal, and his was the essence of Judaism. A few people don't realize, but Heschel had a beautiful falsetto voice. Some people make fun of a falsetto voice. Those who have proclivity to hate people who are falsetto voices, oh, they are dainty. No, it is the voice of the soul, the falsetto. Tiny Tim. Heschel had a delightful, he had a beautiful falsetto voice. I'm going to sing a version of We Shall Overcome that Heschel sang, and I would try to sound like Heschel. We shall overcome, we shall overcome, we shall overcome someday, because deep in my heart I do believe we shall overcome someday. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand someday. Because deep in my heart I do believe we shall overcome someday. we shall overcome someday. לא יסגוי אל גוי חרב, לא ילמדו עוד מלחמה. לא יסגוי אל גוי חרב, לא יסגוי לא ילמדו עוד מלחמה. לא יסגוי אל גוי חרב, לא ילמדו עוד מלחמה. לא יסגוי אל גוי חרב, לא ילמדו עוד מלחמה. לא יסגוי אל גוי חרב, לא ילמדו עוד מלחמה. לא יסגוי אל גוי חרב, לא ילמדו עוד מלחמה. לא יסגוי אל גוי חרב. גוי, Gentile, nation, Jew. לא יסגוי אל גוי חרב, לא ילמדו עוד מלחמה. Hindus, Christians, and Muslims, and Buddhists too, New Age types and homosexuals too, all people from all over the world, liberals and not liberals, all get together, be together as one, and then we will bring Messiah yet. Come together under one umbrella of universal love. This is the big religious Jew, his power Habrius, and Tikkun Olam. Social justice for the oppressed stranger, not exclusiveness and insularity. Nagila, Hava, Nagila, Hava, Nagila, Ben Mismacha, Hava, Nagila, Hava, Nagila, Hava. I want to tell you a fantasy I have of rabbis, imams, priests dancing in the streets of Jerusalem, holding hands, throngs of the religionists of all three faiths, the major faiths, dancing, loving, hugging, kissing, dancing, singing Hava Nagila, a simple song, come let us dance. Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila. May we see this in our time. May we put an end to fanaticism. May we accept that which feels good and feels right to the Jewish soul, and reject that which is not, and understand this is the essence of Judaism. There are things that in Torah that even a Dati cannot do. We do not murder a Ben Sorer Mareh. Never was there one, and never will there be. The lesson is that we must teach the Ben Sorer Mareh. We must knock out the teeth of the wicked son with love. Okay, Shina, with love. This has been Rabbi Lemming, a bittersweet lesson. I end with song because that is what we must do. We must resurrect the Jewish soul. We must reject fanaticism. We have a battle. I will be starting a new movement. Brit Shalom, based on the old Brit Shalom, based on the old organization Brit Shalom. We will not be extremist. We are not looking for greater Israel. We are looking for greater love. We will be active. I will be reaching out to the progressive elements and to the non-progressive elements. I believe they can perhaps be saved. It is time to get the ball rolling, to stop the injustice of oppression and occupation, to be Jewish to ourselves by being Jewish towards others. This has been Rabbi Lemming. I hope to speak to you soon. If I don't see you or speak to you before Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom.